Have you ever gone out of your way for a woman, thinking it would make her appreciate you, only to feel a hollow sense of regret afterward? Maybe you spent hours planning the perfect date, bought her expensive gifts, or said yes to things you didn't really want to do, believing it would prove your worth or love. And yet somehow, despite all that effort, it wasn't enough. She didn't notice the sacrifices you made. She didn't respond with the gratitude or admiration you expected. Instead, you were left drained, frustrated, and questioning yourself. This experience is far more common than most men realize, and it's not because women are ungrateful or hard to please. The truth is, when you give too much of yourself, when you place your happiness in someone else's hands, you stop being the man she's attracted to. Stoicism teaches us a hard but liberating truth. Your power lies within yourself, not in the approval or attention of others. Today, I'm going to reveal 3 things older men should never do for a woman, things that not only drain your energy but can actually lower her attraction toward you. And we'll explore this through the lens of Stoic philosophy, because mastering your mind and your emotions is far more powerful than chasing validation or approval. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I'm just being generous, thoughtful, and caring. Isn't that what she wants? The answer is yes, but only if it comes from a place of strength and self-respect. When generosity is born from fear, insecurity, or the desperate desire for approval, it loses its power. In fact, it often backfires, making you seem weak, needy, or easy to manipulate. Stay with me until the end, because if you truly understand these principles, you'll stop repeating the same mistakes that have left so many older men feeling frustrated and undervalued. You'll reclaim your confidence, your freedom, and your masculine energy. You'll finally operate from a place of choice, not obligation. Let's take a moment to reflect on a truth that society rarely teaches men. From a young age, many of us are told that love is proven through sacrifice, service, and constant giving. Do everything for her, they say. Always put her needs first. Show her how much you care by how much you give. And for a while, this works. A woman may smile, say thank you, even appear impressed. But over time, something subtle begins to happen. She starts to expect it. What was once a gesture of love now becomes the standard. And you? You begin to feel taken for granted. This is where Stoicism offers a different path. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Think about that for a moment. Your happiness, your peace of mind, your sense of worth, they do not depend on anyone else. When you overextend yourself for a woman, when you bend over backward to please her, you are giving her influence over your mind. You are making her the center of your happiness, and that is a recipe for disappointment. Stoicism isn't about becoming cold, indifferent, or unkind. It's about living with integrity, clarity, and self-mastery. It's about understanding the difference between what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your values, and what you cannot control, the feelings, behaviors, or opinions of others. So, what are the 3 biggest mistakes older men make when dealing with women, and how can Stoic wisdom help you avoid them? By understanding these, you will learn not only how to preserve your energy and confidence, but also how to become the kind of man who naturally inspires respect and attraction. The first mistake might surprise you because it's something almost every man does at some point. The second is so subtle that many men don't even realize they're doing it until it's too late. And the third? Well, it's one that can quietly destroy your sense of self without you ever noticing. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear roadmap for how to act, think, and respond in ways that protect your mind, your energy, and your masculine presence. You'll no longer feel the regret that comes from giving too much or trying too hard. You'll be able to engage with women from a place of strength, choice, and self-respect, which is infinitely more attractive than anything else. So let's begin by examining the first mistake older men make, why it happens, and how Stoic philosophy provides a way out. Mistake 1. Doing things you don't want to do, out of fear or obligation. This is one of the most common traps that older men fall into, and it's subtle, sneaky, and often goes unnoticed until the damage is done. Older men often fall into this pattern because society teaches us that love is proven through sacrifice and service. We're told that the way to show a woman she matters is to bend over backward, to put her needs above our own, and to go out of our way at all costs. Many men think, if I do this favor, she'll love me more. If I agree to her request, she'll appreciate me. If I sacrifice my own comfort, she'll stay interested. It feels noble in the moment. It feels like love. But the truth is harsher, and Stoicism calls it out clearly. Women are not motivated by your sacrifices. They're motivated by your value, your energy, and your presence, not by how much you inconvenience yourself for them. A story to illustrate this. Let's take David, a 42-year-old man. David meets a woman he genuinely likes. Right from the start, he wants to impress her. He buys expensive dinners, surprises her with gifts, drives long distances to see her, and rearranges his entire schedule to match hers. Every request she makes, he says yes, even when it drains him, even when it conflicts with his own priorities. At first, she seems grateful. She smiles, says thank you, and compliments him. David feels validated. He thinks, yes, this is working. She appreciates me. But over time, the dynamic shifts. What was once a gesture of generosity starts to become the expectation. The dinners, gifts, and favors are no longer appreciated. They are assumed. And David? He feels resentful. He feels drained. He feels like he's giving everything and getting nothing in return. His energy diminishes, his confidence falters, and the joy he once felt in the relationship disappears. Sound familiar? This happens far more often than men realize, and it's exactly the scenario that Stoicism warns us against. The Stoic principle at work. Marcus Aurelius didn't say, do everything for everyone. He said, don't let your mind be disturbed by what others do. Preserve your own virtue and integrity. The key idea here is that your energy, your time, and your peace of mind are your most valuable assets. Giving them away without discretion is not generosity. It's a loss of self-respect. Stoicism teaches us to act from choice, not from fear or obligation. When you do things you don't want to do out of fear, fear of losing her, fear of being judged, fear of being alone, you are surrendering your mind to external events. You are saying, in effect, her reaction determines my happiness. Stoicism says this is a trap. Your happiness, your integrity, and your virtue must remain under your control always. Signs you're falling into this trap. Ask yourself these questions honestly. Do I say yes even when I feel like saying no? Do I rearrange my plans for someone else's comfort at the cost of my own priorities? Do I feel resentment after doing favors or giving gifts? Am I constantly seeking gratitude or acknowledgement for what I do? If you answered yes to any of these, you're likely giving away your energy, and unintentionally, decreasing your attraction in the process. Why this reduces attraction? It may seem counterintuitive. You think, if I do more, she'll like me more. But women, and people in general, are unconsciously drawn to men who have boundaries, presence, and self-respect. When you do everything she wants, it signals you lack boundaries, you're insecure, you're emotionally dependent. Attraction isn't built on obligation or sacrifice. It's built on strength, choice, and confidence. Actionable insights. Pause before saying yes. Before agreeing to any request, stop and ask yourself, do I truly want to do this? Will this action cost me time, energy, or self-respect? Learn the power of no. Saying no is not selfish. It's Stoic discipline. It shows you are in control of your mind and your actions. A simple, calm, and respectful no communicates boundaries without creating drama. Example responses. I'm unable to do that today, but I'd be happy to help another time. I can't commit to that right now. I have other priorities, but I hope you understand. Observe your emotional state. Notice how you feel when you overextend yourself. Resentment, fatigue, or frustration are your mind's way of signaling that you've crossed your own boundaries. Stoicism teaches that self-awareness is the foundation of self-mastery. Focus on value, not obligation. Instead of trying to earn her approval through favors or sacrifices, cultivate your own energy, presence, and competence. Engage in activities that enhance your life, your health, your goals, and your passions. These are the things that naturally make a man attractive. David's transformation. Let's revisit David. After years of feeling drained and resentful, he decided to apply Stoic principles. He started saying no to requests that conflicted with his priorities, focusing on his personal growth and passions, giving from choice, not obligation. The result? He felt more confident, more alive, and more attractive. Interestingly, the woman noticed the change too. She no longer took him for granted. She respected his boundaries and began to engage with him on a deeper level. This is the power of Stoic discipline applied to relationships. When you honor your own energy and act from choice, you naturally command respect and admiration without manipulation or overexertion. Mistake 2. Chasing validation or approval. This is another huge mistake that older men make. Constantly seeking validation from women. Many men think, if she compliments me, I'll feel successful. If she likes my posts or messages, I'm doing well. If I keep proving myself, she'll stay attracted. Here's the problem. Validation is external. When you rely on it, you give your power away. You are no longer the master of your own emotions. Example, Mark, 45, spends hours texting a woman he likes. He crafts messages, waits anxiously for replies, and measures his self-worth based on her attention. One day she doesn't respond for a few hours, or worse, she ignores him entirely. Suddenly, Mark feels rejected, anxious, and powerless. Stoicism teaches that external events do not control your happiness. What matters is your inner state, your virtue, and your integrity. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Actionable insight. Stop chasing approval. Focus on your passions, your health, your goals, your personal growth. When you do this, women are naturally attracted to your confidence, independence, and presence without you needing to prove anything. Mistake 3. Over-explaining or justifying yourself. Older men often feel the need to justify their actions to women. Maybe you. Explain why you didn't text back immediately. Try to clarify why you can't attend an event. Overshare your feelings to prove loyalty or love. The truth? Over-explaining is desperation disguised as communication. When a man over-justifies, he unconsciously signals, I need you to approve me. I fear you'll reject me if I don't explain. I can't trust myself, so I need your validation. Women unconsciously sense this. And attraction? It fades. Example, John, 50, is dating a woman who asks him why he didn't call that morning. Instead of saying, I was busy, let's talk now. He explains every detail of his schedule, his thoughts and his emotions. She feels suffocated. Attraction diminishes. John feels misunderstood. Both end up frustrated. Stoicism teaches us to act with integrity, speak with clarity, and accept that you cannot control how others perceive you. Actionable insight. Keep your communication simple, clear, and honest. Avoid over-explaining. Focus on actions, not justifications. Remember, your value is in your presence and energy, not in endless explanations. The Stoic perspective, why these mistakes are harmful. All 3 mistakes, doing things you don't want, seeking validation, and over-explaining, have one common effect. They give power over you to someone else. Stoicism emphasizes self-mastery over external events, freedom from emotional dependency, living in accordance with virtue. When you stop making these mistakes, something incredible happens. You reclaim your energy. You stop being manipulated unconsciously. Women respect and desire your masculine presence naturally. The goal isn't to become cold or unkind. It's to align your actions with your values, not your fears or insecurities. Practical exercises for older men. Let's make this actionable. Exercise 1. The daily no check. Each day, identify one thing you usually do out of obligation for someone else. Ask yourself, am I doing this for approval? Does this align with my values? If the answer is no, practice saying no calmly and respectfully. Exercise 2. Emotional self-awareness. When you feel anxious about a woman's reaction, pause and ask, is this my emotion or a reaction to hers? Can I control this or is it external? Journaling daily can strengthen your emotional independence. Exercise 3. Minimal justification. For 1 week, practice communicating facts only, without over-explaining. I can't meet today, let's talk tomorrow. I'm busy, I'll get back to you. Notice how your confidence grows, and how women respond differently when you are self-contained. Real-life story, Stoicism in action. There's a story about a man named Thomas, 48, who had been married for years but constantly sought his wife's approval. He bent over backwards seeking to keep her happy. One day, after reading Marcus Aurelius, he decided to try something different. He stopped over-explaining himself. He declined favors he didn't want to do. He focused on his personal goals. At first, his wife was confused, but soon she noticed the change. Thomas was calm, grounded, and confident. She respected him more, and their connection deepened. The lesson? Stoic principles don't just improve your life, they enhance relationships. When practiced wisely, key takeaways. Never do things you don't want to do out of fear or obligation. Your energy is precious. Protect it. Never chase validation. Happiness is internal. Attraction comes from presence, not approval. Never over-explain or justify yourself. Clarity and integrity are far more attractive than desperation. Following these principles is not about manipulation. It's about mastering yourself, which naturally improves how women perceive and respect you. Here's the deeper truth most people miss when they first hear about Stoicism. Stoicism isn't about becoming cold, distant, or detached from life. It's about reclaiming ownership of yourself, your time, your energy, your emotional currency. The moment you stop giving your power away to people who drain you, to opinions that don't matter, to explanations no one asked for, you feel it immediately. Your mind gets quieter. Your posture changes. Your presence becomes heavier. And without trying, people respond differently to you, especially in relationships, because neediness fades and self-respect takes its place. When you stop doing for others what secretly exhausts you, resentment disappears. When you stop seeking approval, confidence replaces anxiety. When you stop over-explaining, your words carry weight again. You're no longer performing. You're choosing. That's freedom. That's discipline. That's virtue in action, not as a theory, but as a lived experience. This is why Stoicism doesn't just improve your mindset. It reshapes how the world treats you. So don't wait for a perfect moment. Start today. Apply these 3 principles quietly. Observe how people adjust when you stop bending. Notice how peace replaces chaos when you guard your energy. And if this message resonated with you, if it reflected something you're already feeling but couldn't put into words, make sure to subscribe, like, and comment. Share how Stoicism is changing your life. I read those stories and they matter. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.